Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Dragon's Library. Sorry once again for the late review. If you can't tell from my voice, I am currently sick and my throat is killing me, so if I sound off during this review, that would be why. Moving on from all that though, today I am reviewing The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, a paranormal fantasy novel that came out in 2019. So why am I reviewing it now then? Well, I decided to review this because I am currently reading Hellbent, the sequel to this book, and after the delay on Godkiller, I wanted to review the first book in the series before I did a full review on the second, and I still need time to read it, so I went ahead and listened to this, and did a few other stuff. So let's get into it. The Ninth House follows 20-year-old high school dropout Galaxy Alex Stern. After a near-death experience, Alex receives a mysterious offer to attend Yale University despite her background. It quickly becomes clear that this is because Alex has been able to see ghosts her whole life, a rare talent that usually requires dangerous potions and rituals to achieve. Yale is home to the 8 Houses of the Veil, secret societies that harbor dark occult magic and power. Alex, as a price for her new life, is inducted into the Ninth House Lethe, to make sure that none of the rituals and magic procedures are broken. A few months after her induction, her mentor goes missing, and a few weeks later after that, before they can be found, a mysterious murder causes an investigation to be kicked off, which uncovers darker secrets about the Houses of the Veil and their shadowy dealings. Now that's a lot to go over. The premise is kinda hard to sum up quickly, but it still has an interesting hook. Before we go over what I like about the story, let's go over the characters. We have Alex, the girl who can see dead people and struggles with both classes and magic, as well as her position as essentially a charity case. She comes off across as the person who hit rock bottom multiple times and is desperate to hang on to this last chance for a better life, but who also can't stop herself from doing the right thing, even when it'd probably be in her best interest not to. Then we have Daniel Arlington, or Darlington as he is called. At first, he comes across as a bit of a spoiled rich kid and magic prodigy who acts as Alex's mentor in the flashback chapters. However, as we learn his backstory and the full extent of what's happened to him, it is revealed that he's a lot more complex of a character and a good foil to Alex as essentially her opposite. Next is Pamela Dawes, a research assistant at Lethe who helps Alex throughout the story. Dean Santo, the Dean of Yale and head of Lethe House, is the one who inducts Alex and first recognizes her and makes the offer. Finally, we have Detective Abel Turner, a police detective who has found himself forced to work with Lethe due to some long-standing agreement with his department. He's basically their inside man with the police, who also can't really do too much because only the heads of the whole department actually know anything, so he has to skirt around the rules line. Kind of hates them for forcing him into this position. It's very unclear why he's working with the houses, so I hope we learn more about that in the later books. Now I can discuss what I liked about the book, and there is a lot to like here. As an author, Leigh Bardugo is good at writing believable characters, with some exceptions, specifically the love interest from Shadow and Bone. This skill is complemented by stories which force the characters to accept consequences for their actions. Her Grishaverse books had major character deaths and disfigurement. The world would change between books, characters would suffer consequences from their actions, and the fallout of the events would reshape the world. This continues in the Ninth House, but with a twist. While a lot of the main characters go through hell and are forced to really consider the fallout of every decision they make, a lot of side characters are rich Yale students who belong to what is essentially the magic Illuminati. The story puts a great deal of emphasis on the way that things like the drugs, violence, murder don't have lasting consequences for these students unless the school has no way to cover it up. Like, only one of the students really has anything truly terrible happen to them in their life. When it comes to like the rich Yale students. They're basically frat kids playing with necromancy, teleportation, and auguries. This is excellently contrasted with the Lethe House, which despite them being like the magical police who are supposed to oversee the other houses, are dependent on the funding provided by those houses which they watch over. Which means that it's sort of like the cops being paid by the people they're supposed to police, you know? Makes it hard for them to do their job. This all brings me around to the magic system, which is, you know, the core thing here. And it's really interesting. It's a soft magic system meant to complement the risk and danger of using magic in this world. It's based around loose concepts instead of hard rules. However, stylistically, it draws on ancient rituals and old religious practices. An example would be the fortune teller school, who essentially use auguries, which require looking at human intestines. But instead of having to ritualistically sacrifice someone, now we can surgically open people up without killing them, and there are all these procedures to make sure ghosts don't try and interfere or stop them, or demons don't show up. Or the illusionists, who use drugs and alcohol like the cult of Dionysus and feed on the worship and subjugation of the mind. There's a remarkable amount of thought and interesting mythological references that went into this, all of which I am on board with. Anyone who has heard me praise books or other stuff like this before know that I really can tell when an author has done their research, and she has definitely looked up a lot of old, interesting religious practices to base her magic system around, and I think that's just really cool. However, the book is not perfect, despite my compliments. And the main sticking point for me is the pacing. Yeah, I know, Davis complains about the pacing again, what are you gonna do? But it's true. Leigh Bardugo still has a fantastic, complex magical society. She has a good murder mystery plot, she has fun characters, but it takes a while for the plot to get started, and you kind of just spend the first few chapters overwhelmed with informations and names that's all just kind of thrown at you. Which is fine, but the plot is not really doing anything while we're getting this information. We're getting plot dumped, but the plot itself is just kind of meandering along. Even after the murder, it still takes a while for the investigation proper to get started, and at times, it left me sort of bored, which is weird because by the end of this book I was really into it, but at the start I was just not there. In conclusion, Leigh Bardugo definitely shows her strengths in The Night Hounds. An interesting world, nuanced characters, and good mystery are all present, and those, again, are things she's good at doing. However, the stop and start pacing can be very jarring at times, and it makes the book boring in some areas, which I wouldn't usually rag on, but she's shown that she can do this better with books like The Six of Crows, which was wonderfully paced and excellently written all around. So despite all of this, the book comes together in the end and leaves me eager for a sequel. However, I can't give it anything higher than an 8 out of 10 because I do know that she can do a lot better. I can't wait to review Hellbent. I hope the pacing's better. I hope she does improve on this, so we'll see how that goes. So, yeah. Yeah. Alright, with all that out of the way, hey everybody! I'm not sure if you can tell from my voice or from the recording. I've never been able to tell really well when I'm sick, but I am very sick right now. I have been for the last week, which is why things have been weird. I was on call the week before for work, so I wasn't able to stream, and then I was just feeling like shit on Tuesday, and my copy of the game, Forspoken, didn't come in, so I was just like, I'm not going to stream on Tuesday. I will be streaming on Thursday. I'm actually recording this on Wednesday evening. I should hopefully have this review out by Thursday or Friday. I don't know. So I've just been on and off whether I'm feeling up to working or doing anything good right now. So we'll see how that goes. In addition, I am working on finishing up Hellbent, so I can do that review. That's another book. It's the sequel to this book I just reviewed. I'm also going to see if I'm up to going to see Megan, that new horror movie this weekend, because that looks pretty good. In addition to that, I might also do a early review on the first few episodes of The Last of Us, or a review on the Owl House new episode that came out. So we'll see about one of those things. It'll probably be something about one of those things we'll get a review. We'll just have to see what it is. If it's a little more delayed, I really apologize. I really hope you can work with me there because things have just been crazy. Also, I've gotten 3 or 4 new subscribers in the last week, and thank you so much to everyone who subscribed. Seriously, this is a dream come true. I've not gotten this many subscribers all at once ever, so it's kind of a big deal. I know having 27 subscribers isn't a lot, but it means a lot to me, and I have noticed, so thank you to all of you who subscribed. You're amazing. If you would like to be like those amazing people and subscribe to this video, there should be a little circle on screen showing you that you can go to my channel and subscribe there. That'd be awesome. Or you can like this video or comment below. Any of that's great. In addition, you should see a playlist over all the videos for this year. There are only a few of them. And also a video that YouTube recommends you, so check that out. With all out of the way, I will see you guys next time. Bye!